This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Okay. Can anyone recall what we discussed in the previous session? So in the previous session, we discussed about the connector call, right?
Connect.
So
Yes,
connector,
correct.
yeah, connector call and how we can call the any application in the intermediate level and all, right? So like in SFDC, we have a different actions we can do in Salesforce. We can do different actions. Basically, two actions. One is a get, another is send,
Send.
right? Send actions. So in get, the action should be like a query. You are querying the data from the Salesforce, and from in get we have sorry, in send we have a insert, insert,
Update. Update.
update. Yes, very good.
Upset.
Update,
Delete. Merge.
upsert,
Upset,
Delete.
delete,
Merge.
del-
merge. Very good.
merge.
So these are all the actions we can do. So insert means what we are doing. Insert means creating the, insert is nothing but a create. Okay, insert is nothing but create,
Create.
creating the new order. For example, if you want to create a new record, we can create, okay, create a new record, okay, new record into the Salesforce. And update means if already existed record is there. Okay, if already existed record is there, if you want to do some enhancements, you want to add some
Modification.
more fields or some more data, you want to modify the data, you want to modify the values, then we can do the update action, right? Update means modifying the,
Modifying data.
right, modifying the values or data, right, values or data. And upsert means, what do you mean by upsert? Anyone? Anyone? What do you mean by upsert?
uh, for creating and updating at a time. For
It's
same
not
time, we will
creating
write
and updating.
Like it's a
Let's say
combination of update and insert.
is
no.
insert and update
Either,
is.
see, it's not a combination. It's not a combination, I can say. So,
Mm.
for example, if you want to, or let's say you are, you have one record, okay, from the source. If you are getting one record, okay,
Okay.
let's say some record is ABC. So this record is there. If you are want to create, okay, if you want to create, you can create, okay. So if you want to update, if you want, you can update. If you know if it is a new record, if you know if it is a new record, we can create. Okay, if it is already existed record, then we can update. But if we don't know whether it is a new record or existed record, then if you take upset action, okay, upset action means if it is a new record, okay, if it is, if it is new record, okay, if it is new record, it will create the new record. Okay, it will create that record in a Salesforce. Okay, okay, if it is a new record, then it will create in Salesforce, right, in Salesforce. So if it is already existed record, okay, if it is already existed record, if it is existed record, existed record, then it is going to be, then it is
Mm.
going to be update,
Mm.
update the details, update the values. Okay, update the values or records. Okay, see, for example, ABC is a record. If it is, if you know that record is already existed record, then we can update, okay, with the one record ID that is called an internal ID or a record ID or a Salesforce ID. Okay, if it is a new record, if you want to create, you can create that record in the Salesforce. But if you
Oh.
don't know that record whether it is a new record or existed record, then we need to do a upsert action. Upsert action means, okay, if it is a new record, it will create in a Salesforce. If it is already existed record, then it is going to be update those details. Okay, very very important note. Okay, for doing the upsert action, for doing, if you want to perform, for performing the upsert action, upsert action, we need, we need external ID, external ID. This external ID is very very important, guys. Very very important. Without external ID, without external ID, we cannot perform the upset action. Okay, we cannot perform the upset action. So then how we can get, let's say, so internal id means, see, if you go here, then whenever we are recording, okay, whenever we are creating any record, okay, for example, we created a morning batch 8 record, right? When we are creating this record, automatically the record id created, from where we can get this record id or internal id, we can call it as a record
URL.
id or internal id.
URL.
Yes, in the url we
URL.
Yes, it is
URL.
Salesforce
Again,
record. Yeah, yes.
in the url we can get this internal id or a record id, but id from where we can get, from no we if I want to upsert this particular record, if I want to upsert this particular record, I need external id. So this external id from where we can get, from where we can get, so this external id is created external to the salesforce. Okay, this external id is created external to the salesforce. How we can create that external id? First we'll look into this. Okay, first we will look into this record. In this particular record, how we can create this external id. Okay, so now let me get into setup. Okay, if I want to go to fields and relationship, where we can get the fields and relationship
Subsequent.
We account and particular account and relationship.
yes, so click on setup, right? We have a object
Object
manager.
manager.
Click on object manager. For example, if I want to go to account object, you can click on account object. There you have a fields and relationship. Okay, go to fields and relationship. So these are all the fields: account name, account number, right? Owner id, site. These are all the field names, right? Field names. So now if I want to add external id, okay, if I want to create one external id, so how we can create the external id? Okay, or we can add the any fields. For example, these are all the fields, right? If you want to add any field, if I want to add any field or external id, so now here you have a new. Click on new. Okay, click on new. So now I am adding, if you remember, when I am no, discussing about the objects, okay, when I am discussing about objects, we have two types of objects. What are they? One is the standard object, another is custom objects,
custom
right?
Custom,
object.
So
custom object.
the standard object contain the standard fields, as well as we can add custom fields, right? So
Yes.
even like, you know, in a custom object also we can add custom fields as well as the standard fields. So
Hmm.
now this is a standard object, right? Account is a standard object. For this standard object, all the standard fields are there. Now if I want to add custom field, you can see here, new custom field. Account object is account, and here you can see new custom field. So now we can add custom field also, right? So these are all the data types. If you remember that day, I told you that in a Salesforce we have different data types. So auto number, formula, no, these are all the data types. There is no, their how they supported the data types. Okay, so now basically we'll go to the text. Okay, text means it will support any kind of characters, like, you know, allow user to enter any combination of letters and numbers. Okay, any combination of letters and numbers. So that's why I'm going to text. If you want to go with any no, data type, you can go. That's up to you. So for time being, I'm going with the text. Okay, click on next. Okay, now here you can see the field label. Okay, field label. So for example, let me give any field label. Let's say I want to give external id. Okay, external id. Okay, I'm giving external id. So here you can give the field length. Okay, let me give some 100. Now you can see here, field name and label name both are created. Yes, field name is nothing but the salesforce name, I mean salesforce in the UiPath what we can see. And field name means the name which we no, API name. Field name is nothing but a API name. Okay, description, whatever you want to give, you can give. This is external id, up to you. And so now focus here. So always required a value in this field in order to save record. See, whenever if you want to do upset action, always we require a value, right? If you have a value, then only we can upset, or we can do update, or we can create a value, right? So if you check this one, it required, always it required a value. If we are not getting any value, then it will not create or it will not update records into the Salesforce. Okay, so now always we need one value to create or update this value particular record. Okay, so now you can see here external id, set this field as the unique record identified from an external system. Now you can see external id, right? So let me click on this. Okay, so now say next here, and see here field label is external and field name is external id, a description, and this are all the if you want to check these fields, read our access only, you can. Okay, I'm not selecting anything, I'm just clicking on next. Now see here, so this is the label. Now let me save it. Now see, updating the record, updating the records. Okay, so now these are all the account object, right? This is a account object. So now if you come here, so do you see here, do you see here the external id field is created, external id, and the api name is external id underscore underscore c. See guys, whenever, okay, whenever if you, okay, if you want to identify whether it is a custom object or sorry, custom field or a standard field, the standard fields like a c, here it is not like a no underscore underscore c. So if you see here, for standard fields, for standard fields they are all like a simple names. Okay, description, jaguars, some number, facts, industry, all there. But custom fields, for custom fields you can see underscore 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 c. Okay, so this is how we can identify whether it is a standard of standard field or a custom field. Okay, how we can see? So we given text, data type is a text, and length is 100, and external id name. Okay, so this is how we can identify whether it is a custom field or a standard field. Okay, so now field is created, now field is created. So now here let me save it, just refresh it. So let me come to the sales. Okay, so for example, uh, what we are doing, okay, this is our, so let me take another Salesforce. We'll do upsert action. Okay, upsert action. Okay, connection. Do we need to create a new connection or existed connection?
Existed.
Existed.
Existed connection.
X, very good. Existed connection. Action is get or send.
Get.
Send.
And
Send. We are upsetting, right? We are upsetting. So import and click on next. Then here you can see
upward.
create, update, and upsert. Right, upsert. And object type is account. Right. Click on next. Okay, account is object. Next. Now finish. Now you can see here, now you can see here the Salesforce request profile. If I open the Salesforce request profile, okay, now you can able to find that external id. Now you can see here external id, yes or no, external id, right? Okay, perfect. Let me save and close. Okay, whenever you are doing any external upset action, you need to select this external id. Okay, choose this. Now you can see here we can get the external id. Select this external id. Now we are selecting this external id as a unique id which is required to upsert. Okay, we need to do the action of upsert. Okay, let me save and close. Okay, say okay. Okay, now come here. So let me connect to this. Okay, uh, now here we need to change the this profile or not. We need to change this profile or not, because we import a new profile, right?
Yes, yes. We need to change this.
Yes, let me create, this is the one. Okay, let me come here. Yes, you can see here external ID is there, and so let me name to name. Okay, name to name, and location to city I can give, and parent name to parent name. From there I can get parent ID. So here I'm not giving this ID because if see, depending on this ID, it will, the ID will create implicitly, Salesforce will create the record ID implicitly. So just I will give this external ID. Okay, this external ID anything. Okay, so depending on your requirement, for timing I'm giving my phone number as an external ID. Okay, save and close. Let me save and run it. Test the process. Okay, this is very important, guys. So in the interview also you will get no, more questions on this upset action. What do you mean by upset action? What is the difference between upset and update? How we can do the upset? Okay, so
Like external
here we are
ID
getting.
also, I have like in our interviews also external ID they are asking.
Yes, very good. Duplicate. Okay, duplicate detected. Okay, I think no, already we did a upset action.
We
That's
need
why
to
it is
delete the
taking time.
records, I think.
Yes, duplicate no, detected means it is already duplicate is created. Let me okay, what I will do. So let me go here. So you can see here if it is duplicated. Yesterday I told you, right? If it is duplicated, then we will get an error. Okay, likewise. Okay, let me. So now you can see here external ID field is created, right? Okay,
Yes.
what we can do. Okay, that's fine. So what I will do quickly, I will create one record. Okay, or else what duplicate we are getting. Okay, okay, that's fine. What I will do from here, I will get a different account. Okay, I will insert that into which one we can insert. We can take another account and we'll create a new account. Okay, can we go with this? Okay, let me go with this. Okay, save. And here what we are getting ID, and we are getting this Salesforce. Which ID we are getting? Okay, that's fine. Save and close. Let me first insert the data into my database. Okay, perfect. We are getting the ID and it is inserted into the database. Perfect. Okay. Now what we can do? Let me. Which object it is? What is the object? I can come and check the logs. So table name. What is the table name? Insert in insert into SF account, right?
Private కూడా
Select
research room.
star, select star from account.
Hey,
Okay, these are all the tables which are created. Okay, so now come here, and this is a new process, right? What we are doing, we are pulling the data from the database, and we are upsetting the action. We are doing the upset action over into the Salesforce. Okay, let me do 7. Before that, let me commit it. Okay, let me commit it. Okay, committed. Now So what we can do, before that let me delete, okay, because maybe delete from as for account, because already okay, 3 rows are deleted. So now what we can do, will now we can insert the data. Now we can insert the data into database, that new record. Okay,
Pawan, in real time, we are not like deleting the data, right? Now
we
we
will
are
not do, we
deleting
will
the.
not do in the real time, we will get unique records only. But if you are, for
Okay.
your understanding purpose, I am no deleting that for your in real time, we will not do or all these things. Okay, now we'll select star from sf account, right? So now row is created, that's fine. Okay, let me commit it. Now commitment is completed. Okay, now come back, go to our new process. Here we are pulling the data and we are upsetting the action, we are doing the upset action. Okay, let me save. Perfect. Again we are getting an, I think okay, Salesforce duplicated record. Okay, let me check what is the data we are getting to this. Okay, all I think already id is created, that's why it is getting an duplicate. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but you got an idea, right, how to do upset action, right? It is no duplicate is creating.
Pavan, where it's checking that condition, its record is there, or if it is there, it's updating. Now, where that condition is checking, Pavan?
See, in the boomi sorry, in the Salesforce itself it is checking. Okay,
Okay,
in the
okay.
Salesforce it is whenever we are committing, like we are doing the
Mm,
action right here, in the
mm.
upset action we are doing, automatically it will check automatically. Say in Salesforce the operation it will check. Okay, in the Salesforce it will check internally. In backend the
Based
upset
on
action
ID.
we are doing, yeah, based on the id,
Okay.
based on the id. So
This is for
yesterday only I
reference.
told
That
you, right?
external.
Sorry.
That we created na external ID like that underscore underscore c, that is for reference for updating inserting that operation. Based on that
Yes,
ID, it's going to update our
exactly, exactly.
insert.
So this
Okay.
external id is very very important. This external id is very very important when we are doing the upsert actions.
Okay.
Okay,
Just for Salesforce reference, that is.
yes, Salesforce reference like it required, right? See, for example,
Uh,
no, you are no coming from the out. Okay, there is a one group. Okay, for example, let me, I will give you one example. So here everyone is there. Let's say these are all these people are from, okay, Bhumi training session, they are attending Bhumi session. Okay, I am a trainer. Okay, I know each and every person. Okay, I know each and every person internally. Let's say some new person is coming from outside. Okay, okay, so some other person is coming from outside, a new person. How can I identify is a new person or existed person? If we have a unique
based,
identity, okay,
yes,
if we
yes,
have a
I,
unique identity, if easily I can identify, right? Okay, this guy is not from our group, he is coming from outside, right? So that is that unique identity is nothing but an external id. Got it?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Clear till here? Anyone have any questions or any doubts? Yeah.
No, Pawan.
Yes, anyone have any questions or any doubts? Okay, that's fine. If you don't have any questions, any doubts, so yesterday we are discussing about I told you, right? So the requirement is, for example, let's say, okay, my source two source I have. one is the database, another is disk. Okay, some fields are coming from the database and some fields are coming from the disk. So I want to combine these two set of data and I want to send it into the Salesforce. This is my target system. Okay, I have a two source systems. Okay, two. Okay, from database I am getting database profile, and from disk I am getting the just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Okay, so I am getting two different set of data, but I want to combine these different two set of data and I want to send to the target system. Okay, so in that situation, how we can do? In general map is there. In the map, what we are doing taking the source profile, right? We are taking the source profile and the target profile, right? In the map we are taking source profile and target profile. So the source profile is any one type of source profile, right? Either it is XML, JSON, flat file, database, or anyone. And the target system are having a same, like, any one of work profile. It's not like a combination of XML or JSON. It's not a combination of JSON or a flat file. So we are taking, the map is allowing you to take any one kind of profile, right? Either it is XML or a JSON or a flat file or EDI, any one set of profile. It's not like we are not combining two different set of profiles, right? So now if you want to combine two different set of profiles, how we can do? How we can do? Yes.
Using
Yeah,
document
how we can
catching.
do?
Data
So in
processing.
Boomi,
Merge.
Using document catching, we can combine
sorry.
by using document catching.
Yeah, very good, Kranti. So now see, so in Boomi, if you store, see, if you store any, okay, for example, you have a two source systems, right? This data and disk, database and disk. If you store this, okay, if you store temporarily either this set of data or this set of data, if you storing somewhere and if you are retrieving the data, and if you combine those two set of data, right? If you have a capability to store temporarily, then we can store, right? We can retrieve the storage data and we can combine those two set of data, right? So in Boomi we have a, okay, add to cache shape, add to cache. Okay, add to cache shape is, okay, so add to cache, add cache or add to cache. So internally it is a referred as a component as well. Okay, add to cache. So add to cache, it is a, okay, component in Boomi, okay, which is used to store the, data temporarily. Temporarily, okay, it is used to store the data temporarily. It is a temporary memory in Boomi. Okay, add to cache shape is, it is temporary memory, temporary memory in Boomi. Okay, so now how we can store the data, how we can retrieve the data, now we can see. So here we have a three shapes. Okay, it is a component. Add to cache is a component as well as a shape. Okay, so another shape is there, it is referred as a shape also. What is that shape? Yes. So which shape is internally referred as a component other than add to cache shape? Hmm? Map, right? So map is a shape as well as a, it's a component. Same way, add to cache is a shape as well as a add to, document cache. Document cache is a component. Okay, let me log in into Boomi. For example, okay, we'll create a new process. Okay, let me create a new process. Okay, now let me create a new process, and so we'll do here how we can create a new process. Create So under here I'm creating a new
Component
process.
process.
Okay, no data type. Okay, and let me give name as a uh, process add to cache. Okay, I'm giving add to cache. Let me save it, and then which shape I need to take? Try catch a shape.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, then now I have a two set of data, like no, I have a two different set of data. I want to connect with the two different applications. One is a database, another is a disk.
Disk.
So now if I want to create a copy of a data, which shape I need to take?
Branch.
Branch. Very good. Branch shape. Very good. Then take a branch shape, because see here, so why we are taking branch means, see, so the data should go to both branch 1 as well as the branch 2, right? Branch 1, if you take one application system, and branch 2 you can take another application system, and we can combine these two set of data and we can send it into the target system, right? So this is how we need to thought. Okay, but okay, now I want to combine, I want to get data from two application systems, so I want to connect with the two application systems. If I want to connect two application system, which shape is have to create a copy? Then that is how you need to think. Okay, everything is in your plate. How you are taking that is important. How you are utilizing is important. How you are thinking is important. Okay, so now we are taking a branch shape. Let me add a stop shape over here. Now, so let me connect to, first I will connect with a disk. Okay,
Disconnector. Disk.
disk connector. Let me take a disk connector. Okay, I think already we created disk, or else let me create a new disk connection. Okay, let me go here. 8, right? So okay, this is a data, employee data, right? So what I can do, I can add uh, I can add revenue department. Okay, this is my data, right? Let me add revenue field. Okay, let me add a revenue field. Okay, revenue, nothing but a salary, or let me add a salary or revenue. Okay, salary. Okay, now come here. Let me add some 1 lakh or 10,000. Okay, same thing, let me add it into any all the occurrences for time being. Okay, it going to be vary. So the time which we okay, for example, let's say here again, let's say if this salary field is such, every time is changing. Now which property I need to select? So we have two properties. One is a process, a dynamic process property, another is a dynamic document property. So for
Document
example,
property. Dynamic document property we can use.
very good. So why? Because these properties keep on changing. It's
Document
not a
value.
constant one, right? It is not a constant of property. I mean, constant value. If it is changing, keep on changing, then which one we need to consider? Dynamic document property or a dynamic process property?
Dynamic document. DDP.
DDP. Very good. Why? Why DDP? Because the values keep on changing. It's not a constant one. If it is a constant one, we can take a dynamic
Process.
process property. Okay, let me save it. Okay, so now come here. Let me copy this folder, employee data. That's fine. Okay, let me come here. Disk. Let me get a new connection. This is a directory I'm giving. Save and close. Okay, if I don't want to create, okay, give here. From where I can give? If I don't want to give this directory from here, I want to save, but I want to populate this directory. Where I can get it from? Yes, yes, guys.
Under the document property file name directory.
From where I can get? Sorry. So if I don't want to use the connection detail here, so but I want to get the data from the this directory. From where I can get it? From where I can get it?
By using
Yes.
extensions, we
If
can
you
get.
remember the concept called extensions, we discussed about extensions, right? Yes or no? We discussed about
Yes, sir.
extensions or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can
Yes,
go
yes,
here.
yes, Pawan.
We can now take the disconnection. Now we have a disconnection. Can I extend this? Yes. Can I extend here? And whenever I'm extending that property, automatically I can give on fly. The values can be changed on fly, right? That's fine. Okay. Now here, which application I can take? I can take a database.
Data database.
Yes. Database. Now I can take the database already existed connection, and action should be get. Let me create a new operation. Okay. Statement import. Now select the atom connection. Okay. Now come all together down. Which account we created? Salesforce
SF
account, right?
account like Salesforce.
Yeah. Salesforce account. That's fine. Okay. Click on next. Now select all the fields. Now next. Finish. Okay. Now you can see here we imported. That's fine. Okay. So save and close. Okay, let me give proper profile names. I'm not good at giving the naming conventions. So whenever db the score, you can give any I'm giving just add. Okay, db add, because I'm dealing with the add to cache issue. Okay, now save and close. Say okay, that's fine. So now okay, so here which shape I need to take. So we have a multiple records. So now I want to split it. Which shape I need to use? Data
Data
process shape.
process.
Process.
Very good. Okay. Now let me take split document. Okay. Which profile we are getting from the disk?
XML.
XML.
XML,
XML.
XML.
Have we created till now that profile? No, right? Let me
No.
import it. Let me. Okay. Let me import it. That choose that file. Okay. Now this is the file we are working with. Okay, now file import finish. Okay, delete all the things. You are remembering, right? You are getting right?
Unbounded. Yes.
Done.
Yeah, very
Max
good,
up.
very good, very good. So if it is repeating, you need to change it into unbound. So now
Unbound.
here is so max occur is should be unbound. Very good.
Unbound.
Save and close. Very good. And a split element, which is the repeating element here, employee. Employee is the repeating.
Okay.
Okay, we are repeat. Okay, that's fine. And then after splitting, okay, after splitting I want to store. Okay, I want to store the data, whatever the data which I'm getting here. I want to store this data and later I want to retrieve it. Okay, so now
Okay. It's set
as I
property.
mentioned, sorry.
Document.
Yes,
Dynamic.
yes. So no. Okay, so now if you want to okay, if you want to store, we can use a set property also. Very good, one thought is very good. Set property, very good. So we can use a set property shape and we can store a particular field. Okay, we can store a particular field and we can retrieve that particular field, right? For example, let me take a dynamic document property ddp, and which field you want to store? The salary, right? Salary field you want to store it from where it is coming from the profile. Okay, this is a one way we can Okay, XML, choose a new XML profile, then come here. What is a field? This is a field we want to store it. Okay, this is a one way we can store it. Okay, this is a one way we can store it, and we can later we can retrieve and we can send it. Very good. This is a one way. So, but I want to store complete different complete profile. Okay, here by using set property we are storing on a specific field, any specific field value. But if I want to store a complete profile, if I want to complete, if I want to store complete profile, definitely we can go with a add to cache shape. Okay, add to cache shape. See here, add to cache shape is used to add documents to a document cache to set that they can be used in a process or in a sub process. Okay, so add to cache shape refers a document cache component. You can see here it is a component as well. Okay, so now it is a component as well as it is a shape. So now let me create a add to cache component. Now come click on, see here. So let me add salary. Okay, I'm adding salary. So now save it. Now you can see here. Okay, here we can store, here we can store the data two ways, one with the help of profile and another is without profile. Okay, if you want if you want to store the data without profile, let's say any set of data, if you are for example if you are getting PDF format of data, okay, or else if you are getting any excel sheets you are getting. So if you want to store the without a profile, then we can go with the cache without profile and cache with profile. Let me go with the cache with profile. Okay, so you can see here database, EDF, flat file. Which type of profile we need to store? XML? Yes or no?
Yes.
So let me
XML.
take that profile type XML. Now here, so I selected the profile. Now you can see here enforce one index per document. What do you mean by index here? So whenever you are doing storing any data in the cache shape, here we need to specify the index. So what do you mean by index? Index is nothing but a identity, but it is a key element. Okay, whenever you are giving some index is nothing but a, it is an identity, it is a unique identity. Whenever you are storing the data or whenever you are retrieving the data, we need one specific identity to retrieve or to store. So the index is nothing but a identity. So without index we cannot store the data. Okay, index is the identity or key element, key field, or key element, field or element which is used to store the data and retrieve the data. Okay, which is used to store the data or retrieve the data from the cache. Okay, without cache index we cannot store the data. Okay, so the index can be stored two ways. Okay, the index can be taken two ways. One is with the profile type, another is here, it is very important, very important, dynamic document property. So if you remember when I am talking about the dynamic document property, so that particular dynamic document property we can retrieve in a particular branch only, right? Okay, we cannot retrieve in a other branches or a sub process. We can retrieve only in a particular branch. If you remember, it is a document level property, right? Yes
Yes,
or
yes,
no?
yes,
So
yes, yes.
now if I want to retrieve that dynamic document property in other branches or in a sub process, we can store the dynamic document properties with the help of document cache, and we can retrieve anywhere in the process. It is very important, and in an interviewer also you will get such questions. Okay, so the interviewer might ask like this. Okay, for example, I have a dynamic document property I'm storing in a one of the branch, so that property I want to retrieve in a second branch or in a sub process. How we can retrieve? So with the help of document cache, we can store that dynamic document properties, and we can retrieve in other branches. Okay, so now come here. So here you can see add index. So let me add a salary as my index. Salary is my index. Okay, so now you can see add profile element key, which means, so profile element we can add, or else you can see here add document property. So two ways we can add this index. Okay, so for time being, let me go with the profile. Okay, click on profile type, choose that profile. So this is a profile, right? We added here the profile. So which element I need to select as a key element or as an index?
Salary.
Salary.
Right? Now say okay. Now save. Clear? Let me repeat again for your understanding purpose. Okay, so add to cache. Do we see here we are not getting any branch coming out, which means we are storing the data till here. After that we are not getting any out. We are storing the data here. So add to cache shape is a temporary memory in Boomi. We can temporarily store the data, and we can retrieve the data anywhere in the process, and we can use reference. Okay, we can continue further executions. Okay, now here it is a component as well as a shape in a Boom. So now the data can be stored two ways. One is a with profile type and without profile type. Okay, with profile type and without profile type. So now let me go with the profile type. Let me select the profile. So it should be match. Okay, the profile type should be match with the incoming data. Okay, for example, you are getting a database profile, but you are storing trying to store the XML data, means it will throw an error. So always the data should be matched. Okay, the data should be matched. Now the data which is coming in the XML format. Now the profile we selected here. Okay, now the index is a kind of key element or a primary element which is used to store the data. Without index you cannot store any kind of data. So now this index can be stored two ways. One is a profile type, another is a document property. Okay,
Okay.
dynamic document properties. Okay, so now let me go with the profile tab. Here you can select the profile type. I can choose the profile, and you can select the key element, which is going to be your key element. You can select that one. Okay, so now clear till here? Anyone have any questions or any doubts till here? Yes.
So Pawan, every time we need add the index, right? So if I want to enter the document, so whatever the fields are in that document, we need to add all the index.
Sorry, can you repeat?
So you're saying that if you want entire document, so we need
Mhm.
to add the add index for all the fields.
Yes. No. For we will not add all the see. It's like here we will not add all the fields, guys. I mean,
So in the
any one
document
of the
we have
field
a
we will consider
location,
as a key
salary.
element. Sorry.
Mhm. In the document we have a location, salary, employee name, and some fields are there,
Yeah,
right?
even if you want, you can select that one also as a key element. Let me.
Mhm.
It's not like that every time we will not take this one only. If you want employee ID as a key element, you can take this, right? So here
Okay.
I can change this salary. Instead of salary, I can take ID. It should not like which field you want. So we are retrieving complete profile. Okay, we are retrieving the complete profile. It's not like only the salary field or only the employee field. Okay.
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 In the same way, we have three documents, right? In the three
Okay.
documents, we have different fields. So how you
Yes.
are gonna to take the particular element in
Yes.
the each
Yes.
document?
Yes. So here how many documents we are getting? Let me take the input. Okay, this is our input, right? So here we have different IDs, right? This is one, two, almost six employees IDs we have. So which means six employees are coming, right? Six
Right.
employees are coming. So now I want to get this six employees data, right? I want to store six employees data, which means different profiles, I mean different records, right? So
Right.
what I can do, so I will go here, I will take add index. Let me take a, my identity is a, index is a id. So I will take id as an input key. Okay, so now save. So now see here, we have a option called enforce one index entry per document. Okay, for example, okay, for this employee ID is repeating. Just give me a second, guys, just give me a second. Sorry guys, sorry, I got a important call. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so here we have, for example, so what we are discussing, we have a different employees, right? So different employees we have, okay, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, like that we have different employees. For example, if you are repeating, okay, any duplicate employees repeating, okay, in this particular employees data, let's say this particular employee is repeating, okay, 1002 is repeating or 1003 is repeating, then you want to avoid these duplicates. If you want to avoid these duplicates, see here we have enforce one index entry per document, which means if we are getting any duplicate, okay, if we are getting any duplicated record or any duplicated document, then this, no, if you are checking this, then automatically it will throws an error, which means, okay, no, it will delete, or else it will allow you only the unique, okay, only the unique records. It will not allow you to get the or store the duplicated. Okay, so if you are getting any duplicated, if you checking this one, see this option required for plan to retrieve all the document from the document cache or remove specific documents by index name. Okay, which means if you want to remove, or if you want to uh, no, store only the unique records, then we can use this one. Okay, unique and for unique one index per entry per document. Okay, so now let me okay, now we store the data. Now we store the data here. So now if you want to retrieve this, now we store the data here, right? Now we need to retrieve the data. So let me take a map shape. So there are multiple ways to retrieve the data. One is we have a map shape. Okay, we have a map shape and we can retrieve the data. Okay, this is for example, let me, what is my input data here? Okay, let me save and
XML.
yes, wait. In the second branch, okay, now we see here, in the first branch we store the data. Now I want to retrieve this data in the second branch. Okay, so I will explain you how we can retrieve. But here, in the second branch, now here we are getting the database. And now tell me, what is my input data for the map? What is my source profile? What is my source profile I need to consider?
Three.
Which profile I need to take here?
Database.
Database.
Right, very good.
Yes.
So database, let me take a database profile. Now choose that. Okay, db add. So now this is my source profile. Okay, so now that's fine. Okay, so now let me, my target system was Salesforce. Okay, so let me take a Salesforce here. Okay, uh this is not this one we are using. So action is sent. Okay,
Yes.
let me
Yes.
code, let me create, okay, one record in the Salesforce. Okay, create. I'm creating a new record in the Salesforce. Okay, the object, building object tree, it is taking all the fields which are available in particular object. Okay, all the fields it is taking. So now these are all the fields. Now let me click on next, importing Salesforce object here. Now click on finish. Okay, click on finish. So now here this is a object. Okay, let me take this profile name, save and close. Okay, save and close, say okay, that's fine. So now here this is my target system. So now tell me, what is my target profile here?
XML.
Salesforce XML,
XML.
very good. Oh, very good. Okay, let me type this one. This is a one. Okay, so this is my target profile. So now, so from I, now I have a location to location, I can send it to the city or anything. And name to name I can send. right? And parent name or phone number, I can send it into phone number. Okay, but I want to send this revenue also. Okay, where it is this revenue field, or else revenue, where it is. Yes, here you can see here we have a revenue, but this revenue, okay, but this revenue is coming from the my different source, right? So that source should not from here, right? It is not there. The revenue field is not coming from this database. It is coming from another application. We store the data, right? We store the data. So here we can retrieve that stored data two ways. One way is we can see here we have a fields, right? So one way is you have a functions. Okay, so now if I want to get it from another. Okay, if you see, okay, if you remember, whenever talking about lookups, which means already stored data we are retrieving, right? Lookup means we are looking into already stored data. Do we see here we have a document cache lookup in the functions. In the functions we have a lookup. Okay, and we have a document cache lookup. Yes, document cache lookup. Yes or no? So if you can click on the document cache lookup, say okay. Now you can choose that add salary. Now index. Now you can see here choose cache index. So without index we cannot store the data or we cannot retrieve the data. So my index is ID, right? My index is ID. Now what is the output? What is my output? Which what is the
Revenue,
output? Revenue is nothing
Salary,
but a
salary.
salary, right? We are
salary.
selecting the salary as our revenue. Now say okay. Now, so now here you can select this employee ID. You can give the ID as an employee ID, or else you can give any ID. Now you can get it, right? So revenue, where is my annual revenue, where it is? Yeah, annual revenue, right? Like this. But we need to get this ID, right? From where we can get this employee ID? From where we can get this employee ID? So can we go here? Do we see here add cache data? So you can click on field or anywhere, okay, ID or anything. So here you can see here add cache data. If you click on this field, okay, click on fields, add cache data. You can click here, and this is a cache data, right? And ID is my index, and choose that ID. Yes, yes or no? Now come here, employees, under employees, employee ID is my, like this you can add, right? This is a one way. Or else directly you can add salary field to salary annual fee from here to here also. This is another way, right? Clear? Anyone have
Yes,
any
yes.
question till here? Anyone not understood anything? Yes. Okay, let me save. Okay, now click on stop shape. So guys, this is very very important. If you are not understood, let me know, I will explain again. Okay, now test data. Now test it. So here we are storing the revenue. The revenue field we are storing here. So if you see here, we are combining different set of data. One is a XML format of data, and another is database profile. So these two profiles we are storing in the where we are storing. So why we got an error? Why we got an error? Have we given any location here in the database?
Mm,
No, right? So from
no.
so we need to give this one, right? This we need to, I told you we need to extend this one. So where we can extend it? So test, click on test, save. Okay, now here you can see test extensions. Which one? This directory we need to give. Okay, now test it out. Okay, map 2. Here the map is we are getting an error. I think we map
Null pointer exception. Null.
Okay,
Null is
null
not
point.
coming.
That's fine. Null point exception. Let me take employee ID. Key is a employee ID. Index employee ID. So we are so ID, whatever the index we are storing, that is throwing an error. Okay. So now come here. Okay. Index. Yeah. So what we can do, we'll create a, so instead of that, so we'll create a function. Okay, we'll create a function. The input is input I can give. Okay, so input, here the output. Okay, so instead of that, like this you can give. So I can, so what I will do, I will store the, so I will store the property over here. Before that I will store one property. Okay, here I will store one property. Okay, by using set property I can store one property. I will use set property here. I can store the employee ID. Okay, employee ID dynamic document property. I can use ddp emp id. Yes. Now from where it is coming, from the
Profile
profile
element.
xml. Choose that xml profile, choose the employee id, right? So now this property I want to retrieve in the function. Okay, in this function, new function I want to retrieve. So what I am doing here, we can retrieve that, right, by using properties get or set. Which one?
Get
Get.
Okay,
get
very good.
get.
Get, choose document property. You can select that. Now we get the property. After that, we need to add lookup. Okay, document cache lookup. So here you can choose that lookup. Add to salary. Index is ID. Now what is my output? What I need to get? Salary, right? Salary. Now you can see here function one, and so I'm getting the employee ID from here. I'm salary, I'm send, I'm getting salary from, regarding this. So save and close. Okay, so here my output is revenue, right? Okay, what I will do, I will remove from here. Okay, see how many ways I can, I can get it, the add the cache data, right? So I can get my output from here. Okay, so this is not required from here now. So let me save it. Okay, now save, run the test. Now you can see here, come here, you can check the how many documents are stored. Okay, that's fine. Duplicate, okay, that's fine. Duplicate records are, no, detected. That's fine. Now come here, check the add to cache shape. Okay, add to cache shape. Now you can see here how many records, 1 2 3 4, right? So 5 6. So from the source we are getting 6 records. Okay, records are stored in the cache shape. So it is a temporary memory. Now come here in the map, click on the map shape. Now you can see here function okay, document cache lookup. Okay, we are getting the lookup. Okay, now you can see here salary value is coming as a null. Okay, that's fine. Null values are coming for no documents id. So now you can see here we are able to retrieve all the records. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, so here we are getting an error because here the duplicates are detected. Okay, now you can see duplicate records are detected. That's why we are getting an error. But we are able to retrieve the salary that cache lookup or not. You can see here the document cache lookup function is coming or not. The salary value. Yes. Anyone have any questions or any doubts? Yeah. Anyone have any questions or any doubt till here? Yes. So today try, okay, try to practice this one. Anyhow, again tomorrow I will repeat and I will explain again, and I will explain the remaining retrieve from cache and remove from cache. We have two more shapes about this document cache. Tomorrow I will explain again. Okay.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions?
Okay.
Yes. Okay, if you don't have anything, we can wind up the session here and we can continue tomorrow. Okay. Thank you guys, thanks so much.